All righty, I think we are live again. So, John Beckloff for the Project Tribute Foundation. As we're moving up towards March 11th, we really want to just do as much as we can to reach first responders in Nowata, Osage, and Washington County, and just make sure that they know kind of what we're doing. We could use your help. So, if you have any questions, I've got it where you can ask questions, and for the most part, I can see them and answer. If you are, there's a couple like LinkedIn as well as the Project Tribute Supporters private group. If you're on those, if you comment, I can't see LinkedIn. I can see the supporters, but I can't see who it is. But definitely could use your questions, your input. We're going to go over quite a bunch of stuff tonight, but the first thing is the bleed kits. I got quite a few questions on what is the bleed kit. And so on March 11th, these are what we're going to be handing out. It's the Refuge Medical bleeding control kits. So we've got 500 of these kits that we're going to be handing out. And it's a pretty neat opportunity because we're starting the year with $22,000 of donations, providing $30,000 in value of gear. And that's through a partnership with the Lyon Foundation, LYON, as well as the Refuge Medical out of Spiro, Oklahoma. So within that kit, I've got kind of one of the ones we've been handing out, and it's the exact same, but it's coming from North American Rescue, whereas this kit is we picked them up in Spiro, Oklahoma. So the kit, first thing, it's going to have the tourniquet. It's going to be this tourniquet, and I actually got an email earlier today about be careful for fraud tourniquets. So these are the North American Rescue Cat 7s. It's got the logo, it's got all the branding, so the real deal. The marker, trauma shears, 2 pairs of gloves, the survival blanket or emergency blanket, the compression bandage, and then 2 packs of Z-Pack gauze. So the whole intent of this kit is just to buy more time. Should you have, a bleeding event, you're a big deep cut, arterial wound, any of that stuff. And so this thing right here, it's called the Smurl. Just got it. Pretty excited about it. And what it does is it's a live counter to our Facebook feed. It shows us how many Facebook followers we have. One of the ways that we've been able to reach so many people is through social media. And so right now we're at 6,345. If you have somebody that is not friends or has not liked our Facebook page, if they go hit like right now, they're going to see this number change. We're also putting it at the storefront whenever we're not streaming or we're closed. And so you can go in and you can hit like if you're standing there and or scan the QR code, and then you'll be able to see your number change right then and there. Just another kind of fun way that we can keep growing our reach. The big thing that we could use your help for is if you've got people that have not seen us and not know that we exist, help spread the word. The most common thing people ask, hey, John, how can I help? Really, it's inviting your friends to like our Facebook page or a Project Tribute supporters group. That's a huge way that you can help us. So what is Project Tribute? We're going to go over that. And one of the things that I'm excited to share with you all is that we just relaunched our website. And so it's in preparation of this big event on March 11th of handing out these 500 bleed kits. We wanted to be able to have a solid, strong website, have the kits ready to go, just trying to really be ready to try to capture more donations. That way we can reach more first responders. So the biggest thing about Project Tribute Foundation is that we are volunteer based. I came from my day job, came here, and I've been here since about 5:30. As soon as we get done, I'm gonna head on out. So I'm gonna bring up the website here. Probably going to try to bring it up bigger. There we go. So the big thing about the website is that we are a nonprofit dedicated to first responders. So the look is a lot cleaner. I'm really happy with how this one played out. And so just trying to make it easier for folks that don't know about us, or if you're a potential donor or a grantee, or I guess grantor, that you can then say, hey, let's check out their webpage. So current initiatives is just making sure that we get bleed kits into the hands of first responders or anything that can save a life. And some core beliefs to us, we're transparent. As we go through the website, you're going to see more information about us than most nonprofits post. That's just how we are. Volunteer operated. We don't have any paid staff. In no form or fashion has anyone ever received money from us. We give gear, not money. And none of our volunteers have ever been reimbursed or anything like that. And then donations are protected. So we operate a retail store. All throughout this room, we had, I guess I put them down, so sorry, but we have a retail store, and the funds from that store fund any of our other expenses. Unless the donor specifically, like we had the Bartlesville Community Foundation donate for the podcast room. So that was a very specific donation. So that was used for this. But other than that, if it's an open donation, we're using it to put hands or gear in the hands of first responders. Um, Again, transparency is a core belief, and then it goes down to how we help. We put gear in the hands of first responders. If you are an agency that is asking for funds, right now we're at $220,000 worth of requests, and that's how you do that. Is you go and just fill out the quick form, and it's going to ask your name, your phone number, what are you looking for, and how many. I mean, very very quick. So what happens is that the first responders go on here and they request the item. Let's say the IFACs or the individual first aid kits, and that takes, I don't know, let's say a minute. The very next thing, the only other interaction that they're going to have with us is this photo. Just taking a photo showing the gear going into the hands of first responders. Because I don't know, talk is cheap. It's one thing to say we're giving it out, it's another thing to say, here's us giving it out. So that's a big belief in ours, is that once they receive the gear, just trying to get a photo showing the gear going into the hands of first responders. And once your request is to us, you're on our list until I'm able to fulfill it. That's just so our oldest request is from May or June of last year, and you're still on our list. I've got a short video here. I'll actually have to update it because this video talks about 5 lives that have been saved, and in reality, we're at 6 now. So going to update that video. And again, 100% of profit, for lack of a better term, is going towards buying the kits. And then here's some of our kind of key shirts. And then we've got a lot of business donors, and so just making sure that we're recognizing, such as like Walmart Distribution, ConocoPhillips, Bank of Oklahoma, Arvest locally, Guns of Glory. I mean, there's Play for Burke. There's several donors within here that have done a great job. The one that I'm also excited to show is how many departments we've been able to serve. And then at the bottom, you've got our FAQ, our social media. We've got a TikTok, a Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcast. Actually, just about, 30 minutes ago, our podcast and YouTube channel just launched this Friday's episode, and it's with John Wayne and James. So then I'm going to scroll up to the top, and let's see here. I'm going to go to transparency. So this is something that I'm really proud at, that it's one thing to say we don't have payroll and no one's taking a cut. And it's another to show it. So we've got both last year's and this year's finances. And so last year, after all that we did, and so far in our 2 years, we've put $60,000 in value of gear into the hands of first responders. We profited $3,000 at the end of the year. And really how that played out was a big invoice. It hit in January instead of in February. And so then if you really want to, like, hey, John, can you prove it? Okay. There's our financial statements right there. And let's see if I can zoom in. If you'll notice under expenses, payroll doesn't exist. We don't have any payroll. We don't have any reimbursement. And again, I'm not only saying no money's gone into the hands of somebody as part of the foundation. I'll show you that it's not happened. So this is another phenomenal partnership that we've got with Perspective Financial here in Bartlesville. And then we just got our 2023. So right now, year to date, we're negative $1,000. And that's going to be that offset coming from last year. So that's kind of where we're at financially. So all of our statements are right there. And I'll just continue posting the statements as we get them each month. I think that's about it on the website, but I love the look of the new website. I think it's good. Hopefully it helps us just reach more corporate donors. The grant writing is going to be a big thing I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So that's kind of why we're really trying to focus on overall how we present. And the goal is to get more gear in the hands of first responders for 2023. So far, we're already on track to double what we've done in our lifetime. But I think we can do better than that. Okay. So the other thing we've done is the text to give. So if you text the 2 words, bleed kit to 918-856-3977, you'll get a link, and you just touch that link and you can set up donations, $5, $10, $100. And the nice thing is you can also set up that reoccurring donation. And that's the biggest way that you can help us is, instead of getting that coffee in the morning or that price of the coffee, just setting aside, $5 a month, $10 a month for us would rapidly enable us to be able to fulfill the requests. So again, the bleed kit, text bleed kit to 918-856-3977. Our goal would be by March to raise $5,000. That'll help us hit K County. And so if you are, again, a first responder at all that's able to see this, sharing from your social media, telling your friends and family, hey, go check this page out. The more we are able to naturally grow, and people see that we are a real organization that's really doing the work, not profiting. Again, I have a day job. That's how we are able to make a bigger impact for our first responders, and that's the exciting thing, is that, again, we've got 500 of these kits that we're going to be handing out, and really making sure that that's 500 first responders we're able to say thank you to. So we've got more updates kind of filtering through over the next month, but the other reason we're here is to talk about March 11th. So on March 11th, we're going to have 3 pickup points for any first responder in Osage County, Nowata County, and Washington County. And when I mean any, I mean any. We've got all sorts of, well, what about this? What about if you feel like you're in the realm of first responders? So game warden, highway patrol. I've tried to reach out to all you all over the last couple of days. Volunteer fire, wildland fire, professional fire, professional police, sheriff's deputy, if you feel like you could utilize a bleed kit to help save a life, that's fine. All we need you to do is show up to one of our 3 pickup points on March 11th from 11 to 1. In the pickup points, we're going to have Nowata. There's the Nowata Fire Station, our headquarters here in Bartlesville. And then at Pawhuska, it's the Osage County Sheriff's Office Training Center, which I've not seen it, but I believe it's behind the sheriff's office. So from 11 to 1, you just show up there and you can pick up a kit. And if you're in uniform, that's pretty self-explanatory. They may ask, hey, do you have a badge? Do you have an ID? Just something, or the chief shows up and they can vouch for all their folks. But the only thing, the reason we're having to ask for some form of credentials is it goes to transparency. We received the $22,000 and the $8,000 discount from Refuge and the Lion Foundation on the basis of we're giving these out to first responders. So I'm able to go back to them and say, hey, we did XYZ to ensure that it went to a first responder in these 3 counties. So that's kind of why the Google form exists. If you don't fill out the Google form and you show up, we will still support you. It just helps us understand, okay, I need to put half of this over at Nowata and the rest over at Osage and keep 20 here at Bartlesville. The Google form just helps me understand how many do we need to have at each location. And again, we have 500 kits. I want to make sure at the end of the day, all 500 are out in the hands of first responders. But you do have to be present to get one. And again, it's the transparency side of it. I can't hand one person 20 and hope that all 20 went in the hands of who it should have gone, unless if I make all 20 come see me. And I know that it's an investment in time. It's a $60 kit that could save a life if you could just come see us in the respective location that's easy for you. If you're, hey, I just cannot make it on that day for whatever reason, same thing, reach out to us either on the Google form. I don't know if it's got the option to pick up at a later date, or you can just email me, projecttributefoundation@gmail.com. That's for the extreme cases. But again, we want to make sure that every first responder is able to get a kit. Also, if you are just a citizen and you want to say thank you, this is a phenomenal opportunity to have your kids make posters and just be at these locations from 11 to 1. We're still looking for help on having either hot dogs or food trucks, something at these locations, just so we can feed everybody that's coming by. The budget, as I've reminded Allison, if she's watching, is $0. So we're trying to really serve our first responders, but we have a limited budget because we're a nonprofit and we're negative $1,000 for this month. But that's the goal. We should be at 0 at the absolute most. So we're not making millions as some of the Facebook commenters are going to say at some point. I think that's it. Trying to think what else. So March 11th, 11 to 1, 1 kit for 1 person. It does seem like this stream has stayed the course a little bit better than last time, so that's why I'm having to refilm. I don't see any other questions. So if you do see this later on and you have a question, you can post it. Also, please help us grow this number. This will definitely help us reach more first responders, reach more donors, and it also helps just add credibility. That I mean, we've got so far 6,000 people have said, "Yeah, we're this is something we support." So if you're seeing this, the biggest thing you can do for us is every time you see us on a Facebook post or YouTube or podcast, anything like that, anytime that you see those things, just help hit like and hit share. It takes no time out of your day really, but man, it makes a difference for us. It helps Facebook know that we need to be seen at other avenues. Hi Susie, how are you doing? Oh, Sierra, we don't talk to her. But yeah, so that's the biggest. The social media is huge, and hitting that like button is it does make a difference. And again, we're on TikTok, we're on all the platforms that we can. And if you don't see us on one, let me know. But tonight we're actually streaming on LinkedIn and Twitch for the first time. Um, and if you haven't gone to our website, the web domain or the website is projecttribute.com. So just www.projecttribute.com. I got 7 people watching me. That's terrifying. I think that's it. Does any of the 7 brave souls, does any of y'all have any questions? Anything I need to talk about further? Anything at all before I pop off? Well, there's 6. Whoever that number 7 was, man. Oh, 7's come back. So yeah, so again, if you're just now joining us, March 11th, we are handing out 500 of these refuge medical kits, and these are going to go in the hands of any first responder. And again, the kits have a tourniquet, 2 pairs of gloves, the trauma shears, survival blanket, the ETD dressing. I got to figure out what ETD stands for. I've done this enough times. And then the Z-Pack gauze. I did learn with these that basically if you have like a wound, it's a zigzag and you can pack the wound with it. Hopefully no one needs these. But if they do, at least there's 500 more people in our county that are able to benefit. One of the things that I get asked every time whenever somebody on a grant, it asks, what's the total populace benefited by if we were to fund this grant? And Mr. Kane, who helped us secure this from the Lion Foundation. Hey, John, you put, I think 20,000 people. Is that accurate? Or, it was probably higher than that. And I said, absolutely. If every single first responder in these 3 counties had a bleed kit, that benefits every single individual within those 3 counties, plus the passersby. Because if they get in a car wreck and the first responder has a tourniquet from us that they didn't have ahead of time, that's a pretty exciting thing that now they can save a life and they can buy more time. I mean, plenty of us have seen those wrecks on Highway 75, or especially like the road between Hominy. That thing is terrible. And so if you get in a wreck, it could be 15 minutes before the ambulance shows up. Well, you can bleed out in 5 to 7. So this device can make the difference. This $60 kit that we're getting for less than that, for I think it's 42, that can make the difference of life and death for somebody. And so that's the exciting thing, that so far 6 people are alive today because of something as simple as this. So, hey, Brent, looking forward to seeing you guys at Baxter Springs. If you're still here, make sure you put the date. So Baxter Springs has a Jeep invasion, and they are gracious enough to be hosting Project Tribute as the beneficiary of this nonprofit event. And so Baxter Springs, that was a phenomenal event that I did. It would have been, I think, last year in August. But this massive Jeep invasion, it's going to be even bigger this coming year. So if you guys haven't checked it out, the Baxter Springs Jeep invasion, there's sign up. There's plenty of Jeep things. So if you're, Jeepers Anonymous, you guys need to check that one out for sure. That team is phenomenal. Brent and his wife were just kind as can be. It happened to be, I was in a series of rainstorm setups over that. I mean, Susie, as a matter of fact, the last 2 rain events, there's Susie and Brent. But Brent and his family helped take down and helped me get on the road pretty quick. But so again, March 11th from 11 to 1, we're going to be handing out 500 bleed kits to any first responder in Nowata, Osage, and Washington County. Pickup points are going to be the Nowata Fire Station, and the addresses are on the Google Doc. Oh, yep, the Burial Mound Running Gun. That's another phenomenal one. If you guys haven't seen that, this is the Burial Mound Shooting Center. I wish I was younger, but I'm tempted. So they do these amazing shooting events, and it's almost like a 5K, but then they've got targets, and there's there are so many professionals on the range. That's probably one of the safest ranges I've seen. Mind you, there's obstacles and shooting and all sorts of amazing events. And they have night shoots and all that. So if you guys haven't seen the Burial Mound Shooting Center, you definitely ought to. And I don't know, Susie, if you guys are still on. Oh, I guess I got to do it on this side. So I just want to make sure, Miss Susie, that you all see that as one of our donors. Where is it at? Oh, well, it needs to be on there. It wasn't. Okay, well, I'm getting the Burial Mound Shooting Center logo put right here for you guys. I appreciate how supportive you guys have been. And Brent, same thing. If you guys will send me a logo, I'll get it put on our website as the business donors. But the Burial Mound Shooting Center is just an amazing group. They've got a ton of land, and it's just a family that runs it. But if you go to their events, they've got a group that comes out and smokes barbecue for you and all that. But okay, so I'm getting off topic. Off topic. So, all right, last and final, the Refuge Medical individual bleed kits. We're giving out 500 of those to any first responder that serves in Washington County, Nowata County, or Osage County. And again, it's got the tourniquet, the shears, all sorts of stuff. And if you need me to send your agency what's in the kit just to really get your team to show up, let me know. I'm happy to help. If you have any questions, you can. Oh, thank you, Susie. So if you have any other questions, you can call me 405-743-9349. You can email me projecttributefoundation@gmail.com. And then don't forget, we've now got our text to donate. So 918-856-3977. If you text bleed kit, that will allow you to make a donation. There's a small fee, and it's that credit card transaction fee. You can also donate on our website. You can donate on Facebook. Facebook's the only one that gives us 100% of the donations. The only issue with Facebook is that I'll get a lump check at the end of every month, and so I don't know who made the donation versus Venmo, PayPal. I just forgot Snowball. Snowball is the text to donate platform. All those platforms allow me to know who the donor is. And so if you're wanting to make a donation in memory of a first responder or a family member, I would either write a check or use any of those other platforms. That way we can really pay honor to your family member, your loved one. Facebook's the only one that it's very vague on who donates for us. You can also host for your birthday a Facebook fundraiser. So all those are ways that you can help us. I'll show the one that scares me the most. Not scares me, but it's challenge accepted, is if you go on our donation requests. These are all the requests that have come into Project Tribute. I guess it helps if I have the mouse over there. So this is every agency that's ever put a request in. And as you put a request, I'll get you put on the list. And I'm just going down in order. The other thing that you can do as a donor, let's pick. So right there, the Tryon Police Department. If you're on here, please correct me. So their request is a value of about $470. If you're like, hey, John, I want to sponsor that, then what I would do is I would reach out to our vendors and say, okay, I've got a sponsor for this group. It's going to be this many of whatever item they're asking for. I think theirs is the individual bleed kits. I would be able to show you to the penny, this is the value of that request. Or you can just say, hey, I'll send you the $470. Shipping's the only unknown. More often than not, I just eat the shipping through our shirt sales. But that's a solid way that you can support, and you can, if you're from that town, hey, my hometown, I want to support them. Watonga, that's where my family's from. That Blaine County's requested bleed kits to a value of almost $4,000. So a lot of these requests, they may seem like a lot of money, but I think that's the whole deputies and all of the first responders in Blaine County. So lots of opportunities to donate, and all of your donations and all your efforts go directly in the hands of first responders. And I can prove it. So if you send me a check for Tryon Police Department, I'm going to show you an invoice, and then I'm going to show you a photo of us handing out exactly those tourniquets. So you'll have the invoice, you'll have the amount you paid, and then you'll be able to see that many kits in the hands of that department. Again, it just goes back to that transparency. That's an important thing to me. Um, okay, I don't see any other questions, and I feel like this was a much more successful live. Um, all righty, guys. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out and go get something to eat. Have a great rest of your evening. And if you see this later, if there's other things you wish that I would talk about, let me know. You can just comment on this post. But again, please help like, share, comment, help us reach other people, please. Have a great rest of your evening.